How to embrace the whole of life. A talk with Unmani.
So, embracing life. Well, first of all, who we are as this awareness of it all. This is always embracing life, no matter what, because it is simply aware. It can't do anything else but embrace, because it has no preference or opinion. It has no boundary that separates some of it out, or says, I don't like this part, only this part's okay. It's simply aware of whatever is here, even if you don't like what's here, even if you think that some of it should be fixed or healed or got rid of. This awareness that you really are is simply aware, and this awareness unconditionally accepts what is here. And this is really radical acceptance that doesn't depend on any circumstances or situation or how you're feeling today, or what terrible things are happening in your life, or how much pain and suffering or fear or anguish that you feel. This awareness that you are simply accepts it, embraces it, no matter what. But in the lived experience of this human, we often do have preferences for some experiences over others. The thinking, by its nature, does separate parts of life and say, I reject that part. I only like this part. I don't want to embrace pain and suffering and fear and all the awful things happening in the world or in my personal life. Thought, of course, would like more comfort, more ease, beauty and peace and harmony. Thought may have many opinions and judgments about how things should be. And when we take our thoughts seriously and we really align our beliefs and our identity even with what we think, then we experience that we reject parts of ourselves, or in fact, we reject parts of life, which is the same thing as rejecting parts of ourselves, really. And this is very painful, and we experience a lot of suffering when we reject parts of ourselves. And of course, it's understandable that if you are experiencing suffering, that you would do whatever you can to fix the situation or to heal yourself or to create some sense of harmony or peace if possible. So I'm not suggesting you should just be passive. It's not an attitude that you should try to maintain in your life. This embrace is, in fact, much deeper than just holding on to an attitude. It's beyond all attitudes. So even if the thinking might have an attitude or a belief system about how to live in your life, or how life should be, when you see that these attitudes and beliefs are simply made of thought, mental concepts that we hold on to out of fear of falling back into nothing, out of fear of not having anything to hold on to or anyone to be. because it can seem terrifying to just be alive for no reason at all, without any particular belief system or attitude to live by. Simply being alive for its own sake, experiencing, feeling, sensing whatever is here. And even if thoughts have their opinions, when you know that those thoughts are just limited to playing in the world, and those thoughts are like a tool, often useful tool for being in the world, but those thoughts don't really know and can never really know the truth of who we are as life itself. Then we don't take these thoughts seriously. We can see that they are always going to be limited. They create boundaries. They separate out parts of life. But truly, when we inquire into the nature of those boundaries, we can see that they are not real boundaries. They could never be. A mental concept can never be a real boundary unless we take it seriously, and then it's experienced as a real boundary, and then it's painful to live like that. And if we reject parts of ourselves, then we long to connect and to bring back home those parts of ourselves. And we try our best to heal, to fix, to embrace. But when we try to embrace, this is another mental concept. So the thinking can't do this embrace. It can try, it can be helpful to a degree. Some healing and fixing, of course, can be helpful. But in the end, we have to face the fact that it's just a lot of effort, only reinforcing the idea that I am separate from the rest of life. So this embrace, this real embrace, is beyond an attitude of embracing or trying to embrace. It's letting go of all trying, in fact. Seeing that actually life is already embraced. You, this human, is already embraced just the way he or she is. Simply because you, who you really are, is aware of whatever is happening. It is aware of this human, watching her, him, speaking, feeling, acting, interacting, living. And no matter what he or she does, it is always embraced. Even if you end up doing something that perhaps is not kind or compassionate or nice or sweet or moral, it is still embraced, no matter what. This is radical, a radical embrace that simply doesn't care actually what you do. It's such a big unconditional love that unconditionally includes whatever is here without exception, always.